We've had hardcore survival series. We've had endgame breaking overpowered series. But what happens when you combine both? This is Glittervoid, a heavily tweaked mod pack scenario that makes some of the most overpowered mods look weak. We're facing the hardest faction mod, the hardest storyteller, and the highest threat level possible. But in our arsenal, the strongest weapons, the fastest robotics, and the mightiest of animals. In addition to all this, we have Rimworld and Empires to turn this from a killbox showdown into a planet-consuming all-out war. Can one lone super soldier save a planet from the horrors of the void? Or will darkness consume all? Except for Joris, obviously. Nothing can consume Joris. Except, I guess, a bigger, larger Joris. That's just... nature be like that. And here we are, my friends. Welcome to Glittervoid. Arguably the hardest Rimworld mod pack we are ever going to play, and I have no idea how we're ever going to top this mod pack if we decide to. The goal is very simple. Defeat Void. But it's obviously not going to be quite that straightforward. 500% threat, Igor Invader, and more importantly, we have Rimworld. A mod that will allow Void to spread out through the world, build new settlements, send raiding caravans, scouts out to our base fairly consistently. This is going to be tricky. This is going to be very, very, very difficult. But we have quite a powerful starting character that I'll introduce in a second. For those of you who are interested in playing along, who want to see the world settings, the world seed, I've already recorded all of that stuff. I'll throw that at the end of the episode, and I'll use the YouTube chapters function to kind of highlight where that is. So if you want to play along, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to provide the save game as well from exactly this moment here. So if you want to match exactly where the settlements are and the roads are, you'll be able to see. And here we have it. Rimworld Victory Challenge. Your arrival to the Rim has sparked the ire of the Void. They are a ruthless faction that's fractured the solidarity of the planet, and there can be no lasting peace as long as they remain. Your presence poses a threat to their schemes, and they will hunt you until only one of you remain. Well, that's convenient. Eliminate the Void by destroying all their settlements to achieve victory. Before we take a look at our character and his traits, why don't we take a look at the actual world itself? So here we are on arguably the most cursed Rimworld I've ever seen. We have... to our immediate east, the Empire, our allies. Though that will obviously adjust over time. If we don't maintain relations, those will eventually drop off. So it's down to us to continue our good relationship with the Empire. Otherwise, we might just end up becoming a burden for them. And then towards the west, we have two Void settlements. Again, this is part of the actual seed itself. I haven't, told it only two Void settlements. We just got randomly quite lucky with this one, fortunately enough. And this is our planet. Plenty of room for us to put down our own little Empire settlements, and more importantly, because we are playing with Rimworld, the Empire will send out their own settlements, and similarly so will the Void. And of course, if for whatever reason you decided you've had enough fun with Rimworld, you can play along at home. The mod list will be available down below, along with the save file, if you want to dive straight into it, as I've got it set up here and now. And we've got the load order too, for obviously full customization, and the scenario. I'll make sure I upload this time as well. So, our starting character, and more importantly, maybe I should talk about our starting map. We have a wasteland. I thought what was more appropriate for a war-torn planet that we are here to try and liberate than the wasteland biome. Something we've never really played on before. I didn't want to play on another plains. I always play on plains. So I thought I'd really shake things up by playing on a map that wants to kill us along with all the other threat that we've got going on. The unique thing about this map is it's really inhospitable, but still... manageable if you're very, very careful about how you do things. It's not like playing on an ice sheet where if you go outside, your legs freeze off and you die. It has things such as toxic barrels, which if you spend too long around, you'll start gaining pretty significant toxic damage. It's got a lot of very dangerous mutant animals. Maybe not necessarily that one, to be honest. To really add insult to injury, an insect hive. Not just any insect hive, a huge, powerful reactor hive, which is going to spit out mega scarabs until we go and do something about that. So that might be one of our... first ports of call. It's got some other interesting stuff too, like kind of destroyed tanks and mechs lying around that we can go and take apart for components. You might have also noticed there's absolutely nowhere to do any farming, and if I open up the growing zone area, for reference, anywhere in yellow or red are places that we cannot farm. So essentially we've got this area that we spawned in, and that is about it. How are we supposed to balance out all this difficulty? Well, the simple answer is I don't think we ever could. But we do have a very, very powerful starting character, C70, the vat-grown Imperial Inquisitor sent by the Emperor himself to cleanse this lovely planet of the Void. Psychopath, Industrious, and Ironworld. Those are actually preset in the scenario, so if you want to play along, you'll get those by default. We've got pretty much 20 across the board, with the exception of artistic, because let's be honest, I don't think any amount of jade statues are going to fix this mess. 10 animals and 15 cooking as well along with that one. We also have a few extra little bionics here thrown in, some very advanced arms. They give 100% manipulation each and 200% efficiency, because I figured if we're building a base with one guy, my god, we're going to have to do it quickly. We've got an exoskeleton suit and a genius implant as well, which ties into our research that I'll talk about very soon when it becomes relevant. We also have a friend. Not really a little friend this time around. We have Joris Prime, an alpha Paragon bear, the strongest of the strong. Again, I tried to vary this mod pack for different play styles. I normally just build it specifically for how I play Rimworld, but because I figured this was hopefully an interesting enough challenge for you guys wanted to try it your own way, I've got animal mods, you know, animal handling mods. We've got things like genetic rim in there too. Kill for me is a pretty big one. So you, if the way you want to play it is with a single character and a pack of animals, a pack of man-hunting mecha thrombos, you can actually do that. We can select things for targeting for animals, and they can go and attack in packs. I probably won't be doing that. I'll probably try and play with the regular kind of Rimworld colony, but hey, maybe we'll spice it up. All my animals just normally end up getting butchered, don't they? To be completely blunt, I've absolutely no idea what to do. I think the first thing we should do is firstly find out where all my silver has gone, because that seems to have disappeared. Hang on, let's put down a quick stockpile zone and get him doing that as top priority and see if we can track that down. There we are, that'll do it. So I figured we should probably start with some silver, right, so that we can kickstart our own little empire. We might even need to tithe food, which is pretty sad early on, but to be honest, supporting any large colony on this map is going to be damn right impossible unless we're constantly hunting. Hydroponics are going to be fairly essential early on, but more on the research when we actually get to it. That's not going to be quite that straightforward, unfortunately. Let's go over to the settlements tab then, and let's go ahead and create our new faction. What do we want to call it? Oh man, so much pressure already. Let's call it, I mean, hey, they're the Void, we're the Glitter. Faction title, Bastion. We will call it the Inquisitorius, I think. I'm going to go for this fancy little royalty one as well, seeing as we're here on the Emperor's command. And we can pick our first two traits for our specific faction. What have we got then? Expansionist. Your first settlement is free. Once per year, starting after your first settlement, the cost to create a new settlement is reduced by 50%. I like this one because it's got a sword. 20% combat modifier when using your faction's military forces. Now, this is really what I was thinking how we would apply Empire. We use it as reinforcements, artillery strikes, outfit them with our technologies, with our very, very endgame gear. I like this one. I feel like we have to go for that. We've got feudal, we've got authoritarian. You can send your faction to raid another faction's settlement to enslave members of their faction. Oh, wow. Spend silver to increase the loyalty of a faction. Holy shit, that could be great. That way we could really force them to edge. We could start setting up void prison camps. That seems fairly appropriate, I think. You've got isolationist. That helps with upgrading and base tax. No, I've got to go for those. Come on. Militaristic authoritarian. I couldn't be any more empire if we tried. Boom. Let's assess the planet and work out where our first settlement is going to be. I think settling anywhere that isn't a wasteland is probably a safe bet. This one here is very good. Desert tile with mountains 2 gives us 1.5625 there. Let's go ahead and settle for that for 1,000. Do you want to set up a second settlement immediately? Possibly. Maybe somewhere up here where we can get good animal and maybe even food tides. 0.55 on that. Yikes, we're going to have to move somewhere a bit more temperate then, eh? 1.75 on that one. Yeah, that could work. And then that way, if we do want to support that larger settlement, we can get them bringing in food to us. Okay, let's do that. We're going to have to build bloody fast, and I think I'm going to start by putting down walls. Getting a wall across here and a wall across here. Early kill box. I know that a lot of people don't like kill box strategies and prefer kind of open fields. This isn't the mod pack for that. This is a hill we will quite literally die on. We are going to have to use kill boxes. We're going to have to use every tool here to survive for more than 5 minutes. I might try and take out these insects. How many have we got? 7. Run and gun and a powerful weapon. We should be able to do fine. And we can always bait them into the awaiting mouth of Joris Prime. Oh, they're already after us anyway. Well, I guess we'll see what we can do. Great shot. Holy crap. Oh, my nostril. Yeah, I think that's all the insects down anyway. Let's go and smash the reactor. Now, of all the dangerous wildlife that I talked about earlier, those are arguably the tamest and friendliest of all the creatures we'll find, with the exception of the mega beavers. Mega beavers? No, mutant beavers. Well, beaver's a beaver at the end of the day. Tasty nuclear jelly. I'm sure there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Before we get too carried away, I thought it'd be a good idea to set up a kind of strict work tab right now. I'm going to go ahead and just say work constantly until we're happy that we've got a decent defendable base. Out of pure curiosity, can we fish in the green water? I think what the hell we'll get. Okay, we can't fish in the green water. We do have some regular unirradiated ponds down here that can support fish. There could be a way to get a little bit of food here. Probably a waste of our guys' time, especially early on. Holy crap. No mountain will stand in our way. I mean, the void might, but the mountain won't. No, I think the mountain's the least of our concerns, to be completely honest. Let's go ahead and chop down some trees and get some very, very basic walls established. Not even with the intent of holding them back, just to try and send them in a better direction. Build a wall across here, send them all the way around. Maybe we could even build a little wall maze just to give us a chance to get into position. If we build the actual wall itself over here, or the embrasure, I should say, across this front, that way we can kill them as they're coming over the water. Perfect. That'll stop them. You can't... Oh my god, you can't build on... Oh, wow. Well, we were able to build that. Well, you can't build embrasures on that. Wow, that's bizarre. Yeah, look, walls are fine, but embrasures aren't. Okay, well, that makes things a little bit trickier. Well, let's do it just straight across there, then, I guess. That could work fine. As for you, we use that as the actual entrance to the base, then, if it's not going to allow us to build across. We'll do something like that. 2 settlements have just finished upgrading there. Why don't we... How much silver have we got left? 9,200. Okay. So that one starts with... So start with barracks because we picked militaristic as our starting trait. How do I want to do this, then? Man, this is going to be tricky. Let's go all in on mining, then. Start bringing in income, and I think we'll take the income from this one and upgrade this one to ensure that we're not having to worry so much about farming, and we can focus more on security and combat for our main base. Throw in a quarry and probably some migrant housing in this one, just so that we can try and maximize as much profit as possible from there. And then from our farming one, I've got 2... lots of food being tithed already, and then I've got the rest of the workers on animals, or at least as many as we can throw in without starting to go into negative in terms of profit there. So it's minus 140, we're net 60 silver. I will admit, it's not going to break the bank, okay, but it's kind of what we need to help focus on the more important stuff right now. The last 2 building slots, I've thrown down a slave plantation and indoor hydroponics as well, because that seems very Empire. No, watch the barrel, watch the barrel. Okay, that's fine. We've got to stay a certain amount of blocks away from it. I'm going to go and hunt some mutated squirrels in the hopes that we can try and build a bed out of their horrible, horrible mutant skin. Well, I'm all out of ideas already. Our squirrel bed is all nice and set up. We can give him a couple of hours of sleep, because I think at this point he kind of deserves it. There you go. 12% initial toxic buildup. It doesn't seem to be decreasing. Oh, it decreases so slowly. Wow, we've got to be so careful about where we go then. Finally, some good news. Those meals aren't going to go very far. Let's till some soil and let's see if we can grow something. Because it's going to take a little while for our first tithes from our settlements to get over here as well. I don't know, rice, corn, whatever we can. Maybe half of it for rice, half of it for corn as well, because our growing time is even restricted, let alone our growing space. Oh, great news. A tourist. A machine collector from Glitter is visiting the colony. She is named Hessel Hess O'Reilly. Hello. Welcome. This is my base. Welcome. There's nothing here. Ah, good. Another lovely day on his squirrel bed. 10 days since we've arrived, and we've got a squirrel bed in a dirty hole. So everything's quite quiet in the world right now. Obviously, it's fairly early days here, but more importantly, we are outside of the range of void. So you see that they've got this kind of, this hexagon of influence around them there. If we were to have settled inside of that, then we would have a lot more problems than what we've got right now. But of course, as they expand out and as they settle closer and closer, and as we do the same thing, the settlement already potentially within kind of skirmish range. Sure, they can't reach each other's bases, but they could meet up there, and there could be some scuffles and fights going on. So we're kind of keeping an eye on what's going on there. We do have a very lovely rice field. And that's all we have, to be honest. Now that my very phallic hole is carved out... Oh, no. Now that my mountain base is carved out, we've only got the most important thing left to do, my friends. That's right, stone cutting. So what I'm thinking we'll do is Rim Factory Revived adds this thing called a mineshaft. I've actually never seen this before, and I've never used it before. We do need 75 of a block. So that's going to be our next port of call. That should allow us to start bringing in things like steel, plasteel, and then we'll build... less crappy embrasures, because again, I think wooden embrasures are going to stop anybody, let alone the void. Oh. I thought we'd be able to go and mine, you know, steel, plasteel. Early mineshaft entrance, which lets you set a target mine operation where your pawn will go into mountain and mine out what you desire. I don't desire this. To be honest, I figured seeing that burn mine Igor doesn't really kick in until we get more than, well, one colonist, frankly, and we're still quite away from void actually being able to get over here and clap us. What if we smooth out a whole cave? Our settlement decided to send us 27 Noramaki. So, the planet has been nuked. We are in a nuclear wasteland and you've sent me fucking hipster sushi. Holy crap. They really are there. A pair of giant panda critically endangered have wandered into the area. They can easily fall prey to larger predators and poachers, like Joris Prime, but you can tame them, bring them to safety. Releasing an endangered animal into the wild will boost relations with tribal and outlander factions. No, I shall not do that. I shall keep them, I shall breed them, and I shall give them giant Archotech fists. Oh man. A shuttle of the Empire of the Sun has taken damage and is seeking a place to land. Its commander, Bardens, wants to land at the colony. Members from the Void will attack the crashed shuttle in an attempt to kill the occupants. You must defend them. The shuttle contains Bardens, 2 civilians, and 4 Janissaries. The commander and civilians must be rescued, but the Janissaries may be sacrificed. After 8 hours, the shuttle will come to rescue the survivors. You need to get them all on board within 12 hours. If we do that, can have a colonist called Woods join us. Are you any good? Oh, jeez. Well, 8 melee is fine. Ironwater and Bloodlust are very, very good. 58. What's your health like? Actually fine. 11 social is fine. 2. And we get shuttle loot. You can deconstruct and loot the shuttle. You know what? I think I'm going to regret that, aren't I? Oh, shit. Here they are. Hello. I thought the Janissaries were... Are they not under my control? Wait. The commander and the civilians must be rescued, but other Janissaries may be sacrificed. Well, so they're just going to stand outside? Oh, no. Okay. This is fine. Don't panic. What have we got? What have we got in terms of building blocks? Aluminium. No, I'm not wasting that. We've got 211 wood. 225 steel. Here's the plan. We do one of those. Oh, jeez. Okay. We do one of those. Okay. And then we follow that up with one of these. How much steel have we got again? 225. It's 150 plus another. Oh god, 75. Brilliant. Well, oh, we're getting there. Oh, good. That'll be a massive help. Thanks. Can I build a wall out of that? Oh, C70. That was never going to happen, was it? Oh, and of course they fucking spawn in there too. Oh god. Okay. We're dead. It's already game over. Run. Fucking Die. Boil and die. See if I care. Nope. Joris, go home. Well, no shit. I couldn't control them. Right. I'm beyond caring. Right. Okay, C70. Let's, let the Empire get ripped apart, and then we'll carefully and skillfully... Are they just leaving? Oh. Well, that's pretty good. Hey, there we go. We still got the shuttle loot. A Deathclaw has wandered into the area. These rare creatures are extremely dangerous in combat and hard to tame. But if we got one, though... Holy shit, if we got one. 3 of them. 99% chance they'll attack on failure. Good luck. Oh, no. We had a visitor turn up who's immediately been savaged by a Deathclaw. I feel like the Empire are going to hate me. That's not my fault. C70 is speed. Well, speed when it comes to harvesting rice, not speed when it comes to saving lives, which, I'd argue is a lot more important. What's the speed for these guys? Oh, my panda's dead. The Deathclaws are dead too? Oh, the Deathclaws killed each other. Oh, well, brilliant. Oh, that's just great. Oh, my God. Suppose we could have our faction generate some power for us? I mean, what's the alternative here? A fucking windmill? Or a wind turbine. Obviously, wood-fired generator is completely out of the question. I suppose we can put down a... Well, we haven't got to worry about trees. Sure, actually, wind power might work really well this time. Oh, no! We had some cargo pods. It was full of toes. Oh, a warg. Hello. Good luck is all I'm going to say to you, Mr. Wog. Good luck. Incredible. Oh, look, because they've got toxic buildup, because we're in this toxic map, any animals that we hunt are going to be more or less entirely useless. Oh, brilliant. It's your fault. Comment section. This is completely your fault. Why does he never plant anything other than plains? Here you are. Here's something other than plains. An oppressive, sad place where Panda's eyes are torn out. Oh, shit. Not the taxes. Those aren't those aren't relevant. Actually, what were they, out of pure curiosity? What we got in here? It was... Oh, good God. 134 Bearfalo cheese. Oh, thanks. That's appreciated. A person living among wild animals has wandered into the area. She's called Anna. Hello. Anna Higgins. She's an undergrounder. That's pretty good. Insatiable? Oh, no. Oh, no. No handler can tame her. Yeah, evidently. I got that from the trait. Yeah. Eat my corn, will you? Excellent. What an incredible start. Did that say eating Bearfalo? What is Bearfalo cheese? A strange blue cheese crafted from Bearfalo milk. Very nutritive, but very high in saturated fats. Oh, I guess it could have been a lot worse. How long? What's the shelf life on that? 49 days. Hey, that's incredible. I'm sorry? Release, transform, or execute. I guess we'll leave it as no interaction for the time being and just tame her. His practice with the Paragon Bear will eventually allow him to talk to other human beings. Guai hunting C70. Well, that's not a friendly Joris at all. Oh my God. Yes, we shall ride to meet them. Yes. Oh, this is what I didn't know I wanted, but you know, I couldn't be any happier. I love the fact that C70 is just feeding this naked woman blue cheese until she eventually decides to become our friend. I like to think that that's all he knows about human interaction. 122 desserts. Wow. I should really just not bother farming, eh? With the exception of cotton? The exception of cotton or potatoes, silly me. We're not actually going to do any more farming. I think our people have got us covered there, especially if we can get like a fridge set up pretty quick. Let's check storage. Do we start with that? Yeah, we do. Great. Okay, let's stick one of these down. Oh, let's not just build a single refrigerator. Let's build a deep refrigerator. Available the deserter. We didn't even get the Empire quest to ask us to be their friend. Being hunted by a loyalty squad. She wishes to join you. I don't think that's a good idea. They're our only ally. And I mean, realistically, I am the deserter now. Damn, newsflash. Turns out feeding naked women cheese doesn't actually convince them to love you. Oh, what a shame. Oh, shit. Hello. Oh. Mutagenic. Did that not say mutagenic ship? Large piece of ancient ship has crashed nearby. No. No, it has not. Settlements are having a parade in my honor. Oh. Well, thank you. I thought I was doing a real great job. It's been a real difficult time surviving right now. Get him. Kill him dead. They're not even going to punch through his armor. Oh, impossible. What if anything's happening in the world? Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, things are happening in the world. Hello. Holy shit. They're within striking distance of my bloody settlement. Holy crap. The Empire are also settling. We're not. Oh, I need to keep up. 1,900 silver. I still think it'd be a better investment early on to keep upgrading what we've got already. Especially the, especially the quarry. What I should do, I can't believe I've forgotten this. Well, it's been a little while since I played Empire. What we need to do is let's go to our faction tab and let's throw in our traits to start off with. Resilient, reduces prosperity loss by 50% when attacked. I feel like it's probably fairly relevant. Raiders, increases the value of loot by 20% when raiding. Military forces available one day sooner after using them to raid, but we do have that option, seeing as we are, militaristic authoritarian. Road builders? Oh, shit. Oh, that's actually really useful. That automatically builds roads between our settlements. I'm actually going to go for this one, because trade caravans are going to be super, super relevant, and if we want to go and reinforce or help out our settlements in combat, that's going to be super helpful. We do have randomized research. Not true randomized research. We have... well, semi-randomized research, obviously. I'm going to pick that, and then I'll show you guys the research quickly. I meant to show it, well, ages ago, but it turns out, for some reason, I don't know why, it's taking him quite literally months to empty the base out of just some fucking chunks. Are they not they're not stackable? Well, I guess that explains a lot. Quickly throw down a research bench, okay? By which I mean a steel research bench, a slate research bench, any sort of research bench, it doesn't matter. This mod is very, very cool. For those of you who played Stellaris, it should look somewhat familiar because it's basically identical to that, right? You are given random research chosen from your available research, so it still follows the regular tech tree. So right now we have access to furniture, animal enrichment, geothermal power, harps, and microelectronics. The icon is just randomly chosen from something that you'll basically unlock from doing that. And then you can see that shows you what other research you'll then be able to unlock after that point. You can have it do it automatically, at which point they'll just kind of cycle through. But for us, especially given that Void is slowly creeping in, you know, our window of safety here is very slowly, well, very quickly closing at this point. Maybe going for, like, geothermal power. To be honest, microelectronics is such a key research. I feel like I kind of have to go for that one, even though this will probably be quite handy. Let's go microelectronics, then. And let's start the research into that one. Now, it defaults to 3 for the base mod, but I thought because we've got quite a sizable mod pack here, if this doesn't give it away, I thought we would go for 5, just to give us a bit more control over that, because it would suck if we, out of the 3 research, it just chose nothing but modded research and we never saw microelectronics, for example. But they sent out another, there you go, so we can see it there. Settler of Void. Mad Rimbuck, we'll worry about that in a second. So those guys are heading another tile away, and then that'll be another Void settlement. Obviously, if they're heading in that direction, doesn't matter. Makes our endgame goal a little harder in that, you know, obviously the more they spread out, the more we have to contain them afterwards. And there it is, their new settlement. You see that they're sending a trading caravan there between this settlement and another one. We could go and ambush that if we wanted to. Empire, though, are also settling in this direction, leaving us very conveniently in the middle in no man's land. Thank you for that. Wanderer join request. Hello. Paralytic ablaze. Oh, Christ. Okay. Unable to walk. So there's a chance of a lucky quick recovery. Can also be killed by a special operation, which of course we can't do. Okay, will we help Schroeder or leave her to a fate? 57-year-old human female and capable of none. Traits are dunce, workaholic, and brave. Workaholic and brave are fantastic. Passionate for mining, crafting, and social. You know what? Let's take a look. I'm not going to commit to that quite yet. What does dunce do? Learning speed is minus 50% and minus 50% on social impact. Good mining, though, and if we're going for the mountain-based setup for ultimate defense, you know what? Welcome aboard. Hey, there we are. So it looks like you'll be here a while, doesn't it? Just C70 thinks you should give your faction a name. I'll be honest, I have no good suggestions. So, comment section. This one's down to you. My comment section isn't filled by friggin' spam. Feel free to throw some names. If you want to give any kind of meaningful episode feedback, feel free to chuck it in the YouTube comments. But right now, YouTube comments are obviously overwhelmed by that kind of generic keyword slurry. So feel free to throw that at me over Discord. I do read all of the comments anyway, just filtering through all of the crap that's posted in. But yeah, this Discord is always a good way to get in touch. But let's go for a name then. I'll take whatever's the highest upvoted if I can actually find something. If not, I'll pick whatever is my favorite one out of the comments. Very quickly go and rescue her before she has her bloody eyes torn out by a death claw. Right, Joris. Graceful Joris. What an ambulance, eh? Have any 2 fine meals? My God. What is quite annoying is that we finished taming Joris entirely, and we've only got 11.89 animals, and of course we need 12 to actually tame the lady in my prison. Have we got any just kind of crappy animals? Like, I obviously don't want these, but just getting a bit of practicing wouldn't hurt. Here's our mech cluster as a follow-up. To be honest, that's really easy. We've got the Inferno turret kind of isolated there. Lancer will be assembled. Oh, it's all dormant right now. We've got Dagger Snouts and Lancers. That's not bad at all. We're on what level threat again? It doesn't apply to this stuff because it's a quest, eh? Only go. Oh, look at that. Can I reinstall that? And we can just claim it. Oh, well, that's fucking helpful. Let's go ahead and destroy that as soon as possible then. Don't want lovely Joris Prime wandering into the Mechano base. He says on the back of Joris Prime. That is so good. I'm never gonna get over that. Okay, here come the reinforcements. Nothing to worry about quite yet. Parry this casual. Did he just parry a fucking bullet? I guess that's where it bounced off his shield, maybe, instead? Brilliant. Okay. Good shit. There's a pikeman over there. This is incredible. This is such high-tier gameplay right now. My mind has been open to the animal gameplay. Boom. There we go. Hey. Honestly, thank God we got rid of the sunblocker, because, wow, I was really missing looking at this place. Oh, I don't want one of those. Horrible, vile creatures. Does it do anything? No. Well, I'll kill it in a second. We're all good. It's okay, I'll kill. Oh, for God's sake. Surely he's got 12 he's got 12 animals. Right, forget it. Forget it. Tame the lady in the prison. Hey there. You like rice? She do like rice. Okay, hello. I'm gonna clothes for you. That was not a problem. We don't have a bed for you either. You can have a spot on the floor. Next to Joris. Now, what I've done is I've inadvertently triggered the end times now because we've got 3 colonists, and I believe that's the minimum that Eagle requires to actually become active. What that means is we're going to be pounded by raids and negative events and mech clusters and whatever else will happen. Now, defoliator ship. What was it? Defoliator ship? No, it was a mutagenic ship. That was just the iceberg. This is it now. We're in full-blown global warming territory. And to make matters worse, Void is settling extremely quickly. You know what? They're actually almost outpacing the Empire there, which sucks. But because we got our road research, look, the roads have already started building. We're going to connect up the Empire along with our settlements here as well. That's going to be quite nice. Our faction's going to be nice and interconnected because we're here. Meanwhile, Void has to, you know, if they want to send a trade caravan over there, look at all the mountains they've got to climb over to get to that. So today was our safety net. Today was our comfortable first months while we were out of the reach of the Void, and we were definitely out of reach of Igor Invader, and that is now gone. Did we make enough progress during that time? With 1 person? You know, it wasn't terrible. It certainly wasn't super fast. I chose to obviously do quite a tricky base to start off with here. Hollowing out a mountain and smoothing the walls is quite a time-consuming process. But I think it'll probably work out well. Especially when we start getting those raids turn up. Having somewhere to fall back on like that is probably going to be very beneficial. Stay tuned if you want to play along. If you want some more information on the seed and the mods and everything else, I'll be doing that after the credits. Onwards to tomorrow, where things really start kicking off. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Hope you guys like the idea. And more importantly, I hope if you are playing along that you enjoy your time with this very strange and potentially very challenging mod pack. Thank you to the executive producer patrons for allowing me the time to produce these videos, build these mod packs, and apparently lose my voice. And it's only 11:45 a.m., so that's not a good... that's pretty terrible, seeing as I'm going to record another 2 videos today. Thank you to Mr. Moosh, Smugjack, Gibbering Mound, Altari, Cyric313, Lupus, Hwog, Tinselcloth, Amaray the Fox, Baldur Hammer, Feral Housecat, Revan, Skaz, Solembreen, Justin Rules, and Dante Mordecane, along with everyone else at the executive producer tiers over on Patreon for making this series possible at all. Thank you as well to a good chunk of Balsa. Stalker Pepe, Nyancat17, Alex Schultz, Proximity Jones, Bellman, Sam Haruni, Scott, Mr. Awesome, Blue Chaos, Lanath, Roger Wilco, Flom, and Warsheep in addition. What a great and fun episode that was. Obviously, I haven't recorded it yet. So this is all the extra stuff you'll need to know if you want to play along with what I've done so far in the campaign, the world seed, the mod settings, etc. What I will do, I've never actually done this before, is I'll provide the save game for when our character has just landed. So if you want to play along exactly with me with that character I designed on exactly my world, that is probably the easiest way to do it. If you follow the world seed in the scenario, you will get the same world, sort of. Settlements and roads will be in different places, and arguably with something like Rimworld, that is a very key feature. So I'll provide the save for this one. That's the quickest way if you want to dive in. If not, feel free to copy what I'm about to do now. So we're going to dive in here with the Glittervoid Inquisition preset we've got. Once a mighty tributary planet of the Great Empire, the planet's now in overrun and corrupted by the Void, a psychotic, semi-mythical faction bent on destruction. In response to this overwhelming threat, the Empire sent one of their greatest weapons, a highly classified vat-grown clone of the Emperor himself. Genetically grafted with the entire Imperial database, more on that in a second, this lone soldier is tasked with bringing an end to the Void insurrection by any means necessary. Our faction's new arrivals, this is all the important stuff now, your faction's new arrivals, obviously you can rename that and do whatever you want with the Empire side of things. We start with 1 people chosen from 1, however that 1 character that we do have 100% chance to be iron-willed, industrious, and psychopath, just to give you a bit of an edge over the world. The last thing you want is for your people to be breaking down because they haven't played chess today. We do gain 100 starting opinion with the Shattered Empire, but that will drop naturally down to just below 50. You will need to obviously do something about that eventually, but the Empire will be your ally for the most part, as is the backstory. It does say here start with Gorse Lance. Now, I've actually adjusted that since, and I will adjust this before I upload it to change weapon. The Gorse Lance is from the new vanilla expanded... God, I can't remember the name of the bloody mod now. It's a vanilla expanded mod anyway, which adds Gorse weaponry. Gorse rifle, Gorse Lance, Gorse pistol, which has these really, really cool penetrating shots. So they don't just... With a bullet in Rimworld, when you hit something with it, it will just deal damage. With these, it will go through that, and it won't stop until it's stopped by something solid. So a wall, basically, a door, a barrier, something like that. So you could potentially line it up and kill 5 people with the same bullet and also hit a wall too. It's a really cool idea. I thought it would be sufficient. Turns out when we're attacked by the Void, it can't even get through their fucking shield. So we've swapped over to a Void weapon for our starting weapon here. We've got Prestige Siege Breaker armor and Prestige Siege Breaker helmets there. Siege Breaker stuff, a new update for Vanilla Expanded as well. This used to be the Heavy Marine armor, but they've renamed it to kind of diversify it from base game Rimworld. So in the Vanilla Expanded armors, there was originally Heavy Marine armor, Trooper armor, and of course you have Marine armor from base game Rimworld. But when they added in Cataphract and Recon armor, it made those kind of redundant. So they've renamed them, well, they've kind of diversified them, like I said. So Siege Breaker armor, there's Prestige variants too now, so those are kind of cool. We've got Persona Monosword, 30 packaged Survival Meals, 12,000 silver to Kickstart Empire, and 1 Paragon Bear. I'm sure you can see where that's going. Now, as for the Storyteller, we are going to be playing on Igor. I was kind of tempted to go for Void, but I decided Igor is a bit more predictable. We know what we've got to do with Igor, and I'm not sure quite how Void goes about things, for lack of a better word. What we are going to do is drop colonist kills down to 50%, because this is going to be tough as nails anyway. With Igor, all weapons do double damage, and the Void Storyteller, or the Void mod weapons are so disgustingly powerful that, I mean, everybody's going to die from the first shot anyway, right? So let's also change enemy down on death to 50%, so we've actually got a chance of getting new colonists. Use Void against themselves. And I'm pretty happy with that. One thing I was tempted to do is do Wealth Independent Progress mode, which can be more difficult, but if we take a lot of setbacks, it is going to be very, 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 very hard compared to just the very, very hard that we are on right now. That's down to you. I'll see how it goes. I might swap us over to that midway through playing. We'll kind of just assess that as we go along here. But those are going to be my Storyteller settings anyway. Obviously, reload anytime mode just in case of crashes and whatnot. Planet size, we're going to go to tiny. But I'm going to do a very cursed thing and set the globe coverage to 100%. The seed is devotion. I'm just going to leave that. One thing I would recommend, I'm going to drop the sea level down to just slightly above low. The last thing you want, because Rim War sends physical caravans out into the world, so physical raiders, physical scouting parties, they have to be able to actually get to your base, for example. If they're on an island by themselves, it's going to kind of make things a little bit odd. So, here we are. Oh, wow. This is a bit deserty, isn't it? What the hell happened there? Let's turn the rainfall up too. Maybe where I dropped the sea level, it made it much more of a desert planet, which would make sense. We'll increase the rainfall a little bit too. See if that makes it look a bit more like a... Ah, that's better. A bit more like a regular Rimworld planet. There we are. So we've got 5 Imperial settlements here and then 2 Void settlements. You know what? I quite like that. Again, this is all independent of seed. So if you enter the seed, you'll get the same planet as me here, but you won't get these settlements and these roads. So if you want to copy exactly what I'm doing here, I would highly recommend downloading the save that I'll provide as a download as well. But upload that to Google Drive or something. So we're going to play somewhere around here, I think. I wanted to start on one of these wasteland tiles anyway. The fact that we've got a yearly round one, it's quite warm, but it's near the Empire. Will that upset them? Yes, it will. Okay, we won't be doing that then. Maybe like up here. We want to stick close to the road for exactly the reasons I talked about earlier. What about like up here? That's fine. They're happy with that. To be honest, mountains wouldn't hurt. Just to give us some sort of base. That's flat and that's flat. I suppose we could min-max kill boxes at that point though, couldn't we? I'm sure no one will mind if I use kill boxes in arguably one of the hardest presets we could have gone for. There's also that one. Oh, that one's on a mountain. All right, I think I'll go there. Wasteland Mountain. I like that. All right, then. So we'll start on this tile here, just south of the road. We've got 18.46 degrees south and 120.56 west as the coordinates there. Prepare carefully. We've got... Is it this guy here? One of them is the correct one. I think it's this one. So I've done a lot of different testing. Like long story short, it's very easy to die very quickly. You need to get Empire off the ground as soon as possible, basically, to be even with a hope of surviving. As our character, he is a colony vat-grown Imperial Inquisitor, Ironworld industrious psychopath, as we discussed. He's got 2 advanced bionic arms, an exoskeleton suit, and a genius implant, because he's got all of that Imperial knowledge. Makes him very, very good at everything. I'll be honest, even this is significantly underpowered compared to what we're going to be up against. For equipment, we start with 30 package of mills, the Persona Monosword, and this is the actual gun I ended up going for, the GAU-19. It's added by Void, and it's a very powerful rifle-style weapon. So I decided to go for that one in the end. That one's actually capable of punching through Void armor. So if we've got a guy on the front line, he's actually capable of dealing with them in that regard. And that is it. Now to dive in and actually do the episode. This right here is still very, very early days for the mod pack. Before I can balance it properly and establish the settings and the difficulty level that I think is harsh, but still playable without having to do restarts, I need to really edit all the mod settings, right? And set that up the way that I want to keep it as close to the default mod settings as possible without affecting the core balance, without detracting from the actual gameplay that is supposed to be inherent to Rimworld and Void and things like that. So, I'll also provide, as with this series, I'm going to provide the scenario file, the save game, which is something I've never done before, and I'll provide, obviously, the Steam Workshop, the load order, the usual stuff. But I want to try and make sure you guys can follow along as closely as possible, because the challenge is supposed to be the appeal of this. So we're going to go through all the mod settings. These are all default mod settings. I completely cleared out my Rimworld installation, deleted all the settings files, and we're going to go through here and just adjust various different things. What I need to adjust, firstly then, faction control is the big one. Number of faction groups to appear on the world map, I'm going to set it to 2. We're going to have 1 Civil Outlander. I originally tried it with just us and Void. Without allies, we are getting our ass absolutely handed to us. What I might even do is say 2, and just leave on, and this will also help with some compatibility with certain mods as well. We'll have 2 factions appearing on the world, right? We'll have 1 Empire, and that's just the only one in the default Rimworld things that we want there. And we want to make faction-based density normal, nation building very tight. So they will try and build as close to their own nation. They won't settle like different points on the planet. More on that in a second. I'm going to disable mechanoids because they, I think, will detract away from the point of this series. I'm not using vanilla mechanoids expanded this time around for reference. Modded factions, then, I'm going to disable absolutely everything besides Void. And I believe that's what this one here, the question mark faction group. Everything else I'm happy to completely get rid of. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So that means we got 1 Void faction, 1 Empire faction, but they may have multiple faction bases. With Rimworld, they will go out and settle. Obviously, you'll see the things coming out of there. So I think we're going to ally to the Empire, particularly with the scenario kind of backstory too. We are playing as that Inquisitor character, so it makes sense if we start allied to the Empire there. Graphic setter, now this is just for me personally. I like setting on redefined. That is the... essentially the nicest look you can get for the textures. If you're playing on a lower end system, I'd recommend sticking with vanilla, to be honest with you. This will basically make it as nice as possible. I'm not going to restart the game right now. Does that actually keep it like that? Right, you have to restart to apply it, but I don't really care about that right now. Rimworld. I wonder what settings there are in there. Now, I'm probably not going to adjust this. Again, I don't have enough experience with Rimworld right now to determine that. I might even set it to performance, because we do have quite a large mod pack. Oh, that is that by default, eh? Oh no, look at that. Global event frequency. Oh, interesting. So if you look at that, you can see that the default lowers, has a much faster event frequency, so more things will happen sooner. The reason I'm using Rimworld is predominantly for that victory condition, which I thought would be quite fun, but all the other little things it adds are very, very nice. We're not going to be able to see the alliances and things like that, but, oh, I wonder. I'm not sure which one I prefer here. I feel like because it's a large mod pack, I'm going to commit to performance, but I'm going to drop the event frequency down to half of what it is there. Settlement scan range. Yeah, this all seems fine. Maximum faction settlements 20. Because we're playing Void, I'm actually going to drop that right down to like 10. If there are more than 10 Void settlements on the map, we lose. Ultimately. So if you're playing like against Tribal or whatever and you're a regular tech Rimworld, that might not be so relevant. But for us, I think I'm going to drop. So max faction settlements down to 10. Global event frequency down to 300, or as close as you can be bothered to get it there. All right. And that's starting with the performance preset and then applying those over the top. I think I'm pretty happy with that one. Oh, available project count. I might up that by a couple, seeing as we've got... Yeah, I'm going to change the available project count by 2 because we have such an expansive mod list. I assume that 3 is balanced for base game Rimworld. We've got so many. Allow manual rerolls once. That seems like it could be quite a fun idea too. So I'll go ahead and enable that as well. Startup impact is fine. This is all good. TD enhancement pack, I believe, is the one that allows you to... Okay, so I'm going to enable, with this mod, allow harvesting toggle. That's very, very nice in certain situations whereby there might be certain world effects, or you might want to disable certain jobs temporarily without messing with the job itself. Things like, I'm thinking like Psychic Bloom from Vanilla Events Expanded. Disable target harvesting, wait for that to fuck off, because at that point, you basically got to rely on hydroponics to get bloody crops and flowers absolutely everywhere. Somewhere is a disable... Oh, here we are. Toggle fertility overlay. Really like that one. Toggle visibility of terrain affordance. I really like that one too. To be honest, I think I almost turn on all of these when I play. Make a copy button on the... that seems pretty good. Let's apply a slight color variation on crafted items. There's a color generator on crafted items. That's quite fun. So basically, you know, like when the Empire turns up, they got different shades of Cataract's armor. You can have that too. That's kind of fun. Fix to use correct color of ingredient. Oh, that's interesting. Plasteel colored marine armor looks cool. Oh, that is a good idea, because then we can see at a glance more clearly things like marine armor being what material it's actually made of. I quite like that. A new resource readout starts with each category open. No, that doesn't really matter too much, does it? I want to... I know there's a setting somewhere to disable dodge grenades while drafted. Seems like a pretty good idea. Well, to keep it fair, we'll turn on enemies' dodge out grenades as well. This is really nice. If you have allowed to stockpiles have an urgent refill toggle, that's what we used in the Vanilla Expanded Mechanoid series. That one is very, very nice. Zoom to mouse. Is that not always the case? Maybe it zooms to the center of the screen. I actually don't remember. So that's what I'm going to enable for TD Enhancement Pack. I'm almost certain somewhere there is a setting. It might be a different one entirely then. There is a setting to disable the messages at the side, but I might be losing my mind. Void. What settings for that? Enable Void Expansion. We'll disable that, because the way Void Expansion works in the base game is that they will randomly take settlements on the map, similar to if you have Dynamic Diplomacy or Rimworld. Because Rimworld handles that, we're going to disable it here in the mod settings. We've got Allow Tool. I'm fine with that. Actually, no. There are certain things here. Finish off word type. Yeah. Big fan of that one. Let's enable that one. Simple sidearms is one that I really like adjusting. I normally set it to just excessive. And then melee combat auto switch enabled. Absolutely. Melee speed bias. Okay, well, we won't worry about that. I'll keep all the limits as kind of the same there. Now, what we want to do is never drop weapon. Weapon dropping criteria. Never. That's like something that drives me mad about simple sidearms, that in a panic they'll just throw their shit on the floor. Really does drive me insane. It's so they can get away faster and stuff like that. But for when you're building quite expensive weapons, it's a good way to lose them, eh? Xenobartic Patcher allows you to install... do like human-like surgeries, as you can see there on mechs, mech-like surgeries on human-likes. I generally allow animal surgeries on human-likes and human-like surgery on animals just because it's fun. I mean, it's very rare that animal limbs are going to be better than human limbs, but vice versa. It's just kind of fun sometimes to you know, attach some Archotech arms onto a fucking gorilla. That's quite fun. Yeah, it's combat. I'm not going to use the... Actually, I don't think I want to change anything. I quite like the way it is.